Hey friends, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I wanted to speak with you about obedience. We all know what the definition for obedience is, but what does it look like in your life? I know in my classroom, I expect my students to obey the classroom rules in order for us to have this ideal classroom environment. But what does obedience look like in your life when it relates to the things that God is calling you to do today, the things that He's pressing on your heart? Are you going to be like Jonah and run the other way and end up in the belly of a fish? Or are you going to just obey, put down your net, and expect Him to do something great through you? Now, a few years or prior to becoming an educator, I went to a friend because I was a wedding and event planning company, or wedding and event planner, and I own my own company, and I prided myself for planning and organizing these luxury events, but still incorporated fun. Fun was a required element for each event that I planned and coordinated. It was January of 2019. I booked 5 new weddings at my new price point. That's a lot of money. I'm talking $4,000 per wedding, and I booked 5 in that 1 week. Unfortunately, no one returned a contract, and that was the first time that ever happened in 8 years. So I went to a friend and I said, Shauna, something's happening. I have this net, and the net is catching the fish, but somehow the fish is sliding through the net, and Shauna, I gotta get this net fixed. And she asked me a series of questions, and I said yes to every last one of them except for, well, did you fast? No. And she said, okay, go on a fast for 3 days. And I did. And she said to abstain from everything except for vegetables and water. And the 3 days that I was on the fast, I was sent by my church to go to a conference at a huge convention center in Central Florida. And I went to the Creve Royale, but I went there with a bad attitude. I obeyed, but I had a bad attitude. And that's not like me. And my attitude was like, I just didn't want anyone talking to me because now I'm trying to figure out and fix this hole that's in my net, when my answer was actually there for me. So I've been fasting for 2 days now, and I was signed up for 3 sessions, and I went through the first session, second session, and third session. I'm just like, okay, sir, please hurry up because I'm ready to go home. I'm ready to go home, and I'm ready to cry about why I didn't secure these 5 contracts. That is something simple for me. I just couldn't understand. But it wasn't until the pastor opened his Bible. He had a Bible. I didn't know anyone except for one person at this conference. And it was people from all over the country, all over the world, right? Different islands, different countries. And the pastor opened his Bible and he closed it. And he said, God has a message for you. He said, God said that there's nothing wrong with your net. He just wants you to put down your net because He wants you to be a disciple. So now I am now ashamed because of how foolish I was acting. So I sat up and my heart's palpitating because I got the answer to what I was fasting for. And without boring you to pieces, my story started to unfold. And today, because of my obedience as an educator, my worst day in the classroom is better than my best day planning anyone's event. And I wish I had time to go into all the details, but I just wanted to encourage you, be obedient. Don't run the other way. When God is calling you to do something, just do it. Be blessed.